Hello! So, the other day for the XJ, I've been working on that every day a little bit. The other day I bought a long arm lift kit. Now, granted, it's not a great lift, but it is still a Lomgaboy arm lift.
Very simple little things. Again, that's why it's really justify going and buying a tool for this.
Oh, he touched the lens. That's alright. $40 it is.
Okay.
I'm gonna start with a lighter package. Weak boy. Put it over here. For the unboxing. Yes. What's the plural of ox? Oxen. What's the plural of box? Boxen. You're brilliant. So I am pretty excited for this long arm kit. Ben, hold up the long arm. So I'm pretty excited for that. That should be a fun little thing to do. And as I do that, I will do this steering box brace because mine is cracked. And then it gets lifted and was it like 4 or so inches? And it's going to stay on 29s. It'll look great. But as we do that, Alex is taking apart the Miata dashboard. So he is pulling the radio out, he pulled the seats out, took the top off and everything. See, no top. And he will start rewiring all of this. Now, the Miata kit's cool because it has a patch harness that goes between the engine harness and the main vehicle harness. So you just plug it in and then everything on the interior works, which is rad. That should be really easy. And then over here, Alex was able to get a whole bunch of the engine work done. So this is like the timing cover and everything's on. I think I showed you that yesterday. But we have to go get a couple more bolts because some of them were absent from the kit. And also this bottom dowel pin bolt pulled out the threads from the block. So we'll have to get a time cert kit and redo that. That's really not hard. In fact, that should actually be pretty easy. But we'll get to that soon. And then further down here, we have le other Alex.
Hello.
Hello.
You like to take a look at if I pre-primed?
Oh, it looks good.
I think I'm gonna clean this off and then we're gonna start painting.
So the other Alex's Forerunner should be done at least by 2023.
Let's make it 2024.
So that should be cool. We'll have multiple off-road vehicles and multiple fast Miatas that are going brrrr.
I'm sure I'll remember where that goes.
You're in the way. Okay. Yeah, you're still in the way. That's just very good. Okay. Now that nut is gone forever.
That's the problem.
So Alex is currently taking apart the inside of the Miata. So he's got the dash out, he has the seats out, he has the AC blower stuff out and the heater core. So now he's working on getting the main engine harness that came with the Miata out and the engine control module. So this is the heater box and AC box and the fan blower. This is actually really cool how this works. There's a radiator in here for the cold coolant to circulate through. I guess that'd be refrigerant. So that's AC. These are the coolant lines for the heater core. This is an Alex. And that's the rest of the wiring. So one of the several issues with the Jeep that I have found is that the windows on the front two doors didn't work. So I need to fix those, obviously, because it's unbearable to drive around without windows or AC. So I took the door panel off over here. That was pretty easy. They're just 4 bolts and many snaps. I found this. The previous owner fixed the window regulator by putting wood in to hold the window up. The only thing is, didn't hold up all the way, so there's actually a gap. So I had to put tape in. I have seen it all, folks. I have seen it all.
Hi.
Hello. We are back with Alex's K24, and there was a problem found where the dowel pin bolt was not seating right.
It's not long enough to go through this timing cover and thread into the block up here, because the threads in this hole are actually, they don't start at the start of the hole. The dowel part of that bolt is supposed to go in a little bit, but this timing cover is thicker in that area, so they're not long enough. And it's kind of a special bolt, so.
Right, so it's a dowel pin bolt, so it is a special bolt in that it's a locating bolt for the chain case. So we are going to machine this somewhat improperly. We're going to use a Forstner bit to take down some of the area on the chain case such that the bolt can sit deeper in.
Yeah, so it's just not long enough to go into the block, which you'd think it would be, but it's not.
See, this is why I'm not convinced. How far does it go into that?
It's equal. It's the same, but look. If I stick this in until I hit thread, it's there.
Mm-hmm.
So you got like 4 threads hanging out.
Yeah.
There's none.
So do we have to take both sides down?
I think one side will have to take down more than the other.
Okay, but we'll have to machine both sides.
Yeah, because I think this one of the sides will work, but it'll be holding on by like 2 or 3 threads. So, yeah.
So we have a little bit of work to do. We're going to do something mildly clever, mildly not so clever. But basically, we're going to use the drill press sort of as a mill. And in theory, the right way to do this is to use a mill with a milling bit and to just take off some of the surface. But all we have is a drill press and this 2-axis clamp. So we're going to use a Forstner bit to basically make a flat countersink. A countersink is usually beveled so the screw can attach to it, but we're not going to do that. It will be much worse. So what we've done here is we have put this timing cover on the drill press, and we've used this stepped bit to line up the center as best we can. So when we turn on the drill, this should be as centered as we can possibly make it. And then once we're done increasing the size of the hole, we will use this Forstner bit to flatten out the chamfer at the bottom. I like that. Put some pressure on it a little bit. Go up.
Take this bolt here. You know this bolt is here?
Yep.
Otherwise I'll lose it forever.
So this is the dowel bolt. As you can see, you have the threaded section, and then over here you have a thicker section that actually acts as a locating member. So what we can do is drill this until we get to the doweled section of the chain case, this piece right here. And once we get there, we know that we've gone far enough where there will be enough dowel still in the chain case and some into the engine to locate everything.
I feel like we should be wearing safety glasses, huh?
Yes. So actually a Forstner bit is not the right one to use. A Forstner bit is for boring perfectly straight holes into wood. And what we are doing is not that. But luckily we're drilling through aluminum, so the hardened steel Forstner bit will still be able to eat through the aluminum, and it should be at least a little bit okay. So
A little bit okay.
yeah, a little bit okay. So the reason that we have to use the Forstner bit is because the bottom of the bolt is flat, so you need the clamp load there. But we also had to go for a slightly bigger size up so that you can still fit the socket in, like so.
Seems like half works pretty well.
Indeed. Now, as you look down here, you can start to see the dowel coming right out of the bottom of the chain case. So
So I think we go a little bit more.
send it.
Send it.